Good morning. My name is Samuel Morris, and this is Elementary English. I'm glad you're here. Today, we are going to go over reading to understand the author's perspective. Now, you might remember that last week we spoke about reading to understand the author's purpose. This week, we're talking about the author's perspective. So those words, while they sound similar, are actually pretty different. The author's purpose, if you remember the acronym PIE, P-I-E, is to persuade, inform, or entertain. That's why the author wrote what the author wrote. This week, in perspective, however, it's what the author thinks. What does the author believe? What is their attitude towards the subject? What is their take on the situation in which they're writing? So purpose and perspective are closely related. Today, we're going to look a little bit deeper into author's perspective. So first, we look at a piece of text like we did last week, and we see, okay, here's why the author wrote this. The author wrote this to teach me about something. Then perspective takes it one step further. Well, what do they think about it? If you were sitting down in the room with the author, what would they want to tell you? How would they feel? What would they believe? Let's look at a few examples together, and this is going to make a little bit more sense. For our first example, we're going to look at this sentence where Jack is talking about his house. He's getting ready to move. "The sooner we move out of this dump," said Jack, "the happier I'll be." Let's think. What is the author's perspective about the house? What does Jack think about moving? It seems like Jack's got a pretty bad attitude. How do you know? He called his house a dump, first and foremost, and he said, "The happier I'll be as soon as I can get out of here." You can almost feel Jack just ready to get out. So author's purpose, he was telling us some information, but the author's perspective, Jack's perspective on the house, in the eyes of Jack, he's ready to get out of there. Let's look at another example together. "Mrs. Jones's class is challenging, but I learned so much and I feel confident about the work." What was the author's perspective from the student? What does the student think about Mrs. Jones's class? Now, a lot of times, for author's perspective, they'll tell you exactly how they feel in the text itself. And that's what happens here. We see the student say that Mrs. Jones's class is challenging, but that they learn so much. They feel confident about the work. So we know just from reading that the author's perspective is, while the class is challenging, they think it's a good use of their time because they learn a lot and they feel confident afterwards. Let's look at one more example together. "The trend toward full-day kindergarten programs in public schools is taking its toll on the young children of today. Recent studies showing improved reading skills may be misleading. This improvement in reading is unlikely to carry on as these children progress through elementary school." Now, the author's purpose in writing that was to persuade us and to give their take on kindergarten programs and pre-kindergarten programs. Now, we can look at what the author has to say, but we can feel what the author thinks and believes. It's quite evident that the author is not a fan of these programs and doesn't think that they're going to pan out in the future. And we know that because of their writing. So whenever we're identifying author's purpose, we think about why the author wrote something. Whenever we identify author's perspective, we're asking ourselves, what does the author think? What do they believe? What is their attitude about this subject, and how do they feel about everything? Do they want to tell you because they're really excited about it and they can't wait to share it? Or do they want to tell you because they want to recruit you to be against it? Either way, author's perspective is when you put yourself in the shoes of the author and you see what they think. You see what they see. You believe what they believe. You begin to have the attitude that they have. Now, you might have noticed across those three examples that we looked at together, the examples where the author had a bad attitude, I don't know about you, but it made me have a bad attitude because I was reading this author who has a bad attitude about a subject, and I began to have the same bad attitude. But in our example with the student talking about Mrs. Jones's class, I was excited to meet Mrs. Jones. I don't even know if Mrs. Jones exists, but I was excited to meet her because of the author's perspective. So as we can identify author's perspective when we're reading, it's also important to think about how this translates to our writing. When you write something, remember how you felt during this activity. If you want your readers to feel as you feel and to think as you think, believe as you believe, and have those same experiences, then you need to write in an honest and vulnerable and communicative way that tells the reader exactly what you think, exactly what you believe, exactly your attitude, and what your take on the situation is. Remember, the best thing that you can be is yourself. So keep that in mind when you're reading authors' work and identifying both purpose and perspective, but also when you yourself are writing to communicate your thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and feelings on a subject in the future. I hope this has helped you understand the difference between author's purpose, author's perspective, and even writer's purpose and writer's perspective when you yourself will write soon. So that concludes our lesson for today. And think one more time, the difference between purpose and perspective. Purpose is the why behind the writing, and perspective is the what they think, believe, feel, or their take on the subject. So this week, you can practice. Pick up those books, those newspapers, those magazines from last week that you used to identify author's purpose, and take a little bit of a deeper dive. Put yourself in the shoes of the author and really feel what they feel in order to understand author's perspective just a little bit more, and so you can continue to learn and improve each day. It's been my pleasure to have you in class today. We'll see you next week. My name is Mr. Morris. Thanks for joining.
Hello, it's time for some math. We are going to start with our first part, Just Know It. And today I want you to warm up with some rounding. So we're going to round the numbers that I show you to the nearest place value that it says. So let's try the first one together. So this one says round to the nearest 10. So the nearest tens place. So 4 is in the tens place. So look at 7, so we're going to round that up to 50. Let's do another one. Just know it. Think for a second. Round to the nearest 10,000s place. Okay, so that would be right here. We look at the thousands, so this would be 590,000. Great job. This one says round to the nearest 100,000. Okay, so looking here, so we're gonna go up to 200,000. Let's do the next one. Okay, so this says round to the nearest 100. So look at that tens place, or is it larger than 50 or lower than 50? Okay, you got it, it's higher than 50, so we're gonna go up to 200. Next one, round to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so we have 23,109. Yeah, we're gonna keep it right there at 23,000 because that's 100 and that's closer to 23,000. Okay, so we got this one, round to the nearest 1,000, that's between 3,000 and 4,000. So is this number closer to 3,000 or closer to 4,000? You got it, 3,000. That was the last one. Okay, let's move on to figure it out. I got you pulled up close here to me so that we can check out this problem. It says figure it out, and it says flower nursery reading a pictograph. Have you ever heard of a pictograph? A pictograph is a picture in graph form. So we're gonna expect to see pictures like we see here. Okay, let's get started on reading and solving. Okay, this says, these two pictographs are comparing two types of flowers imported from Europe. Answer the questions below using information from the pictographs. Note, each tulip in the pictograph stands for 1,000, so we have 1,000, and each daisy stands for 1,200. Okay, so this says, how many tulips did Holland and France import? So here's Holland and here's France. So let's first get Holland. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I miscounted. So that would be 7,000. Let's look at France. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 1,000 is 7,000. I can use what I know about 7 and 7 as 14, and I know 7,000 and 7,000 would be 14,000 tulips. My favorite flower. Okay, how many daisies did Holland and Italy import? So we have Holland and Italy. So we know that each one of these is 1,000, but then it's an extra 200. So I'm going to do 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So that's the thousands place. So now we do 200, count by twos, 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000, plus another 1,000. So we know that that is 6,000. Same thing here. I'm going to count by 1,000s first, and then I'm going to count by 200s. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. 200, 400, 600, 800, and 1,000. They have the same amount. So together, 6,000 plus 6,000, using what I know about 6 plus 6, I can do that, and I know it is 12,000. Okay, next one. What country imported the same amount of tulips and daisies? Okay, so the same amount of tulips and daisies. Well, I think I better figure out. Let's quickly do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or I could count by thousands. 8 times 1,000 is 8,000. And then Italy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 1,000 is 6,000. I think we just figured it out because we knew that Italy was 6,000. So let's write Italy here. So it's like we're figuring out this pictograph, reading the data as we go. Write the countries that imported the most flowers to the least flowers in order. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna have to add these together. So 7,000 plus 6,000. So we know I'm gonna put H equals 13,000. France, we need to figure out over here. So 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 plus 200, 400, 600, 800. So that's 4,800. So we have 4,800 plus 7,000. Let's add the thousands first. 7,000 plus 4,000 is 11,000, and then 800. Okay? And then we have Denmark has 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 200, 400, 600. So 3,600 plus 8,000. So Denmark has 8,000 plus 3,000 is 11 plus 600. And lastly, 6,000 plus 6,000, Italy equals 12,000. So now we got to go from the most to the least. So the most we have Holland, then we have Italy. Let me get that in there so you can see what I'm doing. Then we have France, and then Denmark. All right, we just kind of figured out together how to read these pictographs to analyze the data that we had. Nice job. Okay, we have never learned to do that together, but we kind of figured it out. And let's take a look at our new learning target with what's new. I left our learning target from last time because I wanted you to kind of remember what we did, because we did some of the same things. Last time we did our learning target that said, I can represent or show and interpret, which is another word for analyze and interpret data on line plots. So like a number line, and we learned that data is a collection of info. Well, our learning target for today is very similar. So I can represent, so I can show. So I'm gonna draw our eye so we can see it. And interpret, that's our analyze. We're thinking about what it means. data, that collection of info, just like in the figure it out, on bar graphs. So bar graphs are a little different. They have these bars, okay, that kind of stick up, or they can go the other direction, vertical or horizontal. But that is what a bar graph looks like. And pictographs, so like in our other example, there were pictures. So it just depends on what the data is, what the picture might be. So let's take a look at some of those problems together and try to figure out what's new. Okay, test. Okay, we are going to get started with our what's new. Grab your tools to do some mathematical thinking along with me. And I have, in addition to my Sharpie today, I also have some colored pencils to help me make our bar graph. So let's get started with RTDW. Okay, so we have, here are the weights of some of the heaviest land animals in the world. Here they are down here. Complete the bar graph to the weights of the animals. Fill in the data for the Asian elephant and the hippopotamus on the bar graph. How much heavier is the Asian elephant than the hippopotamus? So let's start with number 1. So think about it. Complete the bar graph to the weights of the animals. So we need to start from here and move over. So we have African bush elephant, 4.9. So just right there below 4.9. Oh, 4.9, whoops. So that'd be almost a 5. There we go. And we can shade that quickly. Okay, let's check that one off. I'm gonna use my next color. African forest elephant, 2.8. So we're gonna go up 1, 2, and almost to 3, because 2.8 rounds to 3. Okay, check that one. Asian elephant, 4.2. So we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. So we got our decimals here. So we know that 0.2 is 2/10. Okay, hippopotamus is done, but it doesn't have it written here, so let's fill that in. So we have 1 and 2 less than 2, so that would be 1.8, okay? And then we have Indian rhinoceros, so we have 1.9, so 1, almost, there we go. So 1 more tenth than the hippopotamus. And then the last one we have is the white rhinoceros, which is at 2.1. Okay, so we got that done. Let's check that off, okay? And fill in the data for the Asian elephant. Okay, we got that. So we got the Asian elephant. I guess we did them all. I think this is incorrect. Okay, but we filled in the hippopotamus and the white rhinoceros. Okay, we got that. So let's go to the next one. How much heavier is the Asian elephant than the hippopotamus? So the Asian elephant is 4.2 minus the hippopotamus, which is 1.8. Okay, so I'm going to take away the whole first. So that would be 3.2 minus 0.8. Okay, so I'm going to think of how I can break this into, okay, so I know I have 3 whole and 0.2, so I can stack this over here. I'm going to break this up into 2 wholes and 10 tenths, so 12, so I'm going to have 0.4 and 2 whole. So it is 2.4 tons larger. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, here we go. Here are the 5 largest cities in Missouri. Directions, complete the table. Okay, so order of size. So let's do that one first. So which one is the largest? That's number 1. Kansas City is 1, and then we have number 2 is St. Louis, number 3 is Springfield, number 4 is Columbia, and number 5 is Independence. And then it says population to the nearest thousandth. Okay, so nearest 100,000. So this would be rounding down, so 100,000. This would be rounding up to 200,000. This is closer to 500,000. This is close to 100,000. And this is close to 300,000. Okay, we got number 1 done. Choose a scale for your bar graph and label the vertical axis. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, no 4s, but okay, so let's see. 100,000, 200,000, 300, 400. So maybe we should do it by 2s. So this would be 200,000, 400,000, 600. So you could do 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna make it easier for myself. So I'm gonna do 200, 300, 400,000, and that would mean 5,000 is right there. And so then we have, so we gotta label this. So let's start with Independence. I'm gonna just do some abbreviations here. Independence, Springfield, KC, Columbia, and St. Louis. Fill in the bar graph using the population to the nearest 100,000 figure. So this is what we're gonna use for our bar graph. So Independence, we're gonna shade Independence up to 100,000. And we're gonna do Springfield to 200,000. KC goes to 500,000. Wow, much bigger. More than double. Columbia is 100,000. And St. Louis is 300, so that'd be this line. Okay, so we got our bar graph. Sometimes it helps to do different colors. I use the same, but you could use different colors. Okay, so we got that done. Check, check. Which cities have the most similar population? Well, pretty obvious here. Independence and Columbia. True or false? The 3 smallest cities are about the same size as the largest city. So the largest is 500,000, and we want to see if they're about, that's kind of like about the same size. So the 3 smallest, so 100, 100, so that's 200 plus 200, so it's 4,000. Is that about the same size? 4,000? I would say it's not. It's pretty, 100,000 is a big difference, so I'm going to say false. That is not true. Great job on what's new today with analyzing these bar graphs, figuring them out with me, and thinking about how to use all of these different strategies, sequencing and ordering, rounding, and then analyzing the data that we create on our bar graphs and with our pictures. All right, that was kind of fun figuring out those problems. Let's move on to try it. Figuring out these word problems and looking at the data, it's really important because when you get to a point where you want to convince someone of your point of view, it's really helpful to have evidence to back it up. And these kinds of data line plots and bar graphs and pictographs can really help drive the point home or support your ideas. So it's not just about knowing how to do it for math, but also knowing how you can use it to convince other people of your ideas and what makes sense for your community or for the problem you're trying to solve. Great job. So here's one for fun again, for all of you who are playing baseball these days. So this says the school baseball team keeps track of how many runs each player gets. Use the graph below to answer the question. So we have 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and on. And it looks like Mark is up to 8, Tracy's up to 12, Doug is up to between 10 and 12, so 11, Patty is at 4, and Sarah is at 7. Can you see that? So the questions we have are, how many runs did Sarah have? Oops, I might have just said it. And how many runs did the player with the most runs have? Those are kind of some basic questions, so I wanted to add an extra challenge for you. I want you to make up 3 of your own questions. Think about how you can compare different players, or maybe put 2 players' totals together and compare them to 2 other players. Come up with 3 questions of your own and be ready to share them with me. I would love to see your ideas. All right, and it is time to say goodbye. I want to end with an all set, you bet, and cool, way cool. Here we go. All set, you bet. Cool, way cool. Thanks for learning with me today.
Hello, I'm Mr. Steinauer, and this is Science. Today we're going to be talking more about energy. Last week we introduced 8 types of energy. Today we're going to talk about how energy is transferred, how energy is stored, and how energy can be transformed. All you're going to need today is, if you've still got it, your diagram from last week, your energy flower diagram. If you don't have that, that's all right. Regardless, you're also going to need a piece of paper or something to write on and something to write with. That's going to help you keep track of what we're talking about today. Finally, you're going to need some energy around you. Luckily for you, energy is all around us. So let's learn about how energy gets transferred, how energy gets stored, and how energy can be transformed. I'm going to use this board behind me to display some of the things that we're going to talk about today. In previous lessons, we've been very hands-on. We've been building, and we've been creating, and we've been modeling different principles and different ideas in science that we discuss. Today, I just want us to be able to have a concept or an understanding of energy and how it moves around. First things first, energy never is destroyed. It only moves to a different location or into a different form. Energy is never, ever, ever destroyed. You can never get rid of energy. All it does is change form. But what is energy? Energy is the ability to do work. That can be any kind of work. That can be heating something up. That can be moving something. That can be digesting food. That can be absorbing water. There are a lot of different ways to describe work when we're talking about science. And anything you need to do work is energy. Now, energy comes in different forms, and we discussed this last class. We discussed the 8 types of energy. There's potential and kinetic, gravitational, chemical, sonic or sound energy, thermal, which is heat energy, electromagnetic, which describes a whole range of different kinds of energy, from electrical energy to magnetic energy to the visible light spectrum. The final energy form is nuclear. Of course, when we talk about nuclear, we're not just talking about nuclear power plants or nuclear bombs. We're talking about the energy inside of the nucleus of everything. We are all made up of atoms, which have a nucleus inside. So when we talk about nuclear energy, we're talking about the energy of atoms and molecules, the smallest things that make us up. Energy transfer is when energy moves between 2 objects. In energy transfer, it stays the same kind of energy. So for example, potential and kinetic energy. When you're on a swing set, you transfer your kinetic energy, the energy of motion, to potential energy, energy based on your position, and then transfer that back into kinetic energy. It stays in the same type of energy. Similarly, when sound bounces off of an object, say you hear an echo, that remains as sonic energy, but it might get transferred from someone's voice off of the wall into someone else's ear. In fact, anytime we hear something, that's a transfer or a movement of sonic or sound energy. Whenever something heats us up, that is thermal energy being transferred. We go out into the sun, and the thermal energy from the sun warms up our face. Or we go inside on a cold day, And the warmth inside of our home warms us up as well. That heat energy gets transferred to our body. You may notice too, when you do laundry and your clothes come out of the dryer and they're nice and warm, if you put those clothes on right away, that thermal or heat energy is going to transfer into your body, warming you up. So transfer is when the energy stays as the same type, but moves from one thing to another. Now, as we said earlier, energy does not get destroyed, it simply moves around. It doesn't always stay as the same kind of energy, but when it does stay in the same kind of energy, whether it's chemical, gravitational, thermal, or sonic, or otherwise, if the energy stays the same type, then that is a transfer of energy. What's an example of an energy transfer? Take a moment and think. What is an example of energy staying in the same type of energy but moving from one object to another? Maybe you thought of an example that we named earlier. Maybe you thought about how thermal energy moves from a warm object to warm up another object, or how sound energy travels from a source of sound into someone's ear or into a space. Maybe you thought of another example. Maybe you thought of potential and kinetic energy working together. Maybe you even thought of a way gravitational energy gets transferred to another object. Think about things falling out of a tree. Gravitational energy pulls that fruit down, and that fruit might knock into another fruit, and that gravitational energy would then pull them both down. That's a transfer of gravitational energy. Now, this is an example of energy transfer that you could see outside. You see all of these electrical wires here. They're all carrying electromagnetic energy, and that energy is getting transferred from wire to wire, going into a generator and out another way, or getting carried all the way down a street and then also being split up between the houses in that street. It stays as electromagnetic energy, it stays as electrical energy, and it's transferred or moved to different areas. Energy can also be stored. Energy that is stored is saved somewhere for future use. Just like we sometimes save some food for later, or we save some water for when we're going to be thirsty, energy can also get stored. Now, when energy is stored, it stays in one form. It doesn't change forms. Again, energy can never be destroyed, it only moves around, but energy can be captured and kept. Some examples of stored energy are a spring, storing potential and kinetic energy, body fat. Our bodies will save chemical energy for us to break down into energy later for our bodies. And then another example of chemical energy is gasoline, which is stored for use in our vehicles, whether it's a car or a lawnmower or a motorcycle or even a school bus. All of those vehicles that I just named all need gasoline, which they convert from chemical energy into a mechanical energy. But when it's just stored like this, it's stored energy. Finally, energy transformation. Now, energy transformation is when energy moves from one form to another. So it will go from object to object, but the important part of energy transformation is that the energy itself changes type. So in an energy transfer, it moves from two different objects but stays the same energy type. In energy transformation, it changes the type of energy it is. So if you see that energy moves from one object to another, but it changes type, you know that it's transformed. So some examples of ways that we can transform energy. You can use the food that you ate, the chemical energy you gained, to then get mechanical energy, to move your body, to have sonic energy, to talk. We even use chemical energy all the time to give us thermal energy. We are warm-blooded animals, so we have our own thermal heat that comes from within. That we only get because we've eaten something earlier in the day, because we've had chemical energy stored up, stored in our body fat, stored in our muscles, stored in the food that we break down for energy every day. So anytime energy transforms type, that is energy transformation. What is an example of energy transformation, of energy changing from one kind to another? Another kind of energy transformation you might think about is if we go back to our gasoline example, that chemical energy gets used and burned up to produce mechanical energy, energy of movement for the car, but it also produces thermal energy or heat energy. You'll also notice that when you start up a car, you get some sonic energy too. All of that happens because there's chemical energy stored in the gasoline that the car is going to use for fuel and chemical energy stored in the battery of the car. Those two forms of chemical energy provide electromagnetic energy, making your car radio work and making your car turn on, and it also produces mechanical energy when we move our vehicle. And again, there's of course that sonic energy. You can hear a car driving down the street, and on a really cold day you can even see heat coming out of the engine or even through the exhaust. That's thermal energy. Now it's your turn. Find an example of energy transfer, stored energy, and energy transformation in your home and share what you find. As always, it's been my pleasure having you in class today. My name is Mr. Steinauer, and I'll see you next week.
Hi boys and girls, this is Coach H here. Woo! And we're doing physical education outside, and I'm super excited because we're gonna be doing soccer, okay? So here's some of my friends that are gonna help me today. Woo! Say hi, look at this, go. Hi! Yeah, we're excited. Okay, and we're gonna do some dribbling today, all right? So the first thing I want them to do is they're gonna do a warm-up, and so we're at James Elementary, and they got these awesome soccer goals that we're gonna be using, and they're gonna run around it and then come back. If you're not at a goalie thing, you're gonna just run in place just like Coach H, okay? So we're gonna do a quick warm-up. Two things I want you guys to get is a ball, a soccer ball just like this, a water bottle if you can, and if you have some cones or something to place down on the ground, get a couple of those. So here we go, I'm gonna tell them to start. Here we go, 3, and you're gonna go into that way and go around. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Run around, make sure you're wearing. Good job, keep it up. Woo! And we're jogging, I'm jogging in place because I'm gonna make sure you guys come over here. Nice job, you got one more. Give me an air high five, just air high five. Here we go, boom, boom, boom. Alrighty, nice job. Here we go, boom, boom, boom. One more, give me one more left. Nice job, boys and girls. If you're not, you're just jogging in place, just like this. Keep up that good work. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Come on over here. Alrighty, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to line up right behind one of these cones. So let's do this. I see 4 girls and 3 boys, or 2 boys. Let's do this. You 3,
actually 2
since you guys kind of have the same color, except you have blue too, but we're doing this. You 3 right here. So I want you guys to line up behind this cone, facing that direction. And the other side, these 3, because we got some teammates, we're gonna do this side. I want you to line up right over here. So the 2 boys and a girl. Nice job. All right, and now what we are going to practice is dribbling. Who has played soccer? Raise their hand. Oops, timer's going on. Who? 2 people? Only 2 people played soccer before? Has anybody seen a soccer ball? If you've seen a soccer ball, raise your hand. Nice job. Okay, well boys and girls, if you haven't played soccer, this is a soccer ball. It has different shapes and patterns on it, sometimes just like this one. Very, very cool, like that. And what we are going to have them do today is they're gonna dribble. And they're gonna dribble to the other side, kind of like basketball. And I'm gonna set some cones up, and this is what they're gonna have to do. So give me 1 second, I'm gonna set this up real quick. And the point of this game is you guys are gonna have to dribble that ball around the cones, okay? And how you're gonna do that is you wanna make sure you cup the ball just like this, right next to your foot, and you're gonna kick it a little bit in front of you. Should I kick the ball really far in front of me?
No.
No, you wanna keep the ball as close as possible. Keep the ball as close as possible, as if the ball is way out there, somebody's gonna steal it. So you wanna make sure it's under your feet at all times. I'm gonna give you guys a practice round to watch me how I do it, okay? If I was on this team, this is how I should see it. You're kicking the ball just like this, around the cone, using your feet. Very good. All the way around. Making sure you keep that ball in front of you. Use all parts of your feet. Nice job. And then air high five to the next person. Does that sound fun? Let's get started. Woo! Are you guys ready?
Yeah!
Alrighty, here we go. This person's right here. Step back just a little bit, step back just a little bit. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Here we go, starting in 3, 2, oh, head start, don't worry. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, go! Look at them go around the cones, make sure you go around the cones, very good, very good. Go all the way around. Nice job, kick, 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 keep that ball underneath you. Nice job. Nice job, let's go, let's go, let's go. Nice job all the way around. Making sure we're practicing that ball control, I love it. Next person, go ahead and start, go ahead. Go ahead, here we go, nice job. Look at your ball skills, very good. Look at you, very good. All the way, air high five, there we go. Next person, go. Nice job, my friend, keep it up, keep it up. All the way around, oh, get the ball, get the ball. I might probably steal it if you don't get it. Woo, woo. You better get it, you better go. Keep it up, you better go. Oh.
Yep.
All right, make sure there's no hands on the ball. You can't touch your hands on the ball. Keep it up, keep it up. Better watch out, Coach H is gonna steal that ball. Nice job. All right, to the next person. Nice job, here we go, here we go. Nice job, oh my goodness. You better keep that ball away from me. You better keep that ball away from me. Nice job. All right, and you just stop it right here. Keep it up, my one friend, nice job.
I am not gonna
I'm
go.
gonna come around, you better hurry. You better hurry, I'm coming around. Here I come, woo, you better get around. Coach H is trying to get it. Well, no. Nice job, I couldn't get it. Nice job, boys and girls. Okay, that's the first round. Now this round, they're just gonna do 1 foot, and I'm only gonna do one person. So talk to your friends and say, hey, who do you think is gonna dribble it faster through your team? Be confident in your teammates and talk to each other.
You did it really fast though. Yeah. I think.
Who do you think should do it? You just pick each other. Who do you think should be doing it? And if we disagree, what should we do? Have you guys heard of rock, paper, scissors?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's do rock, paper, scissors. So rock, paper,
Paper, scissors, shoot.
okay, so you're out. Here we go. These two. Here we go.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Alrighty, he is the winner. He's gonna be the one doing it. Okay?
No, I wanna.
You're doing it? Okay, this one you can only use your foot, 1 foot. So you can't do 2. You can't do this. Only 1 foot. You can only kick it with 1 foot the whole time. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Remember, try to keep the ball in front, and we're doing baby taps. Baby taps against it, okay? You guys ready?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. 1 foot, 1 foot. Keep it up. 1 foot, very good. Nice job, all the way through. Only use 1 foot, only use 1 foot. Keep it up. Nice job, you're doing great. Nice job, my friend, you're doing amazing. Woo! Good job, and keep it there. We're gonna watch her real quick.
Come on.
Nice job, bring it in. Bring it in, very good. All the way through. All the way through, 1 foot, very good. You got it, keep it up, keep it up. Woo! Nice job. Real quick. Boys and girls, hustle, 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 right here. All right, what is a challenge that you guys saw when we were doing that dribbling?
Going over the cone.
Going over the cones, right? What's another thing?
Doing it with 1 foot.
1 foot, it might be a little bit difficult, right? What if you use your right hand all the time and you don't really write with your left hand, right? It takes practice, right? If you don't practice all the time, then you're not gonna get better, right? So that means we gotta practice this more, and we're gonna do a great job better next time, right? Because we practiced a little bit this time, right? And we know that we gotta keep the ball at shorter distances when we're kicking the ball, okay? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Alrighty, real quick, we're gonna do 2 more laps to get our body warmed up again, or cool down. So I want you guys to do 2 laps. You guys think you can do that one more time?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Around that cone?
Yep, nope, around this again, okay? All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
What's your question real quick?
Oh, when we're gonna do like that?
We're gonna do the kicking the next round, okay? So here we go. Ready, set, go, run, 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 run. Boys and girls, that was a lot of fun. We're gonna watch them finish up. It was a pleasure. I'm gonna get a drink of water. If you guys need a drink of water, get a drink of water, okay? Let's go, boys and girls! Air high five, air high five. Woo, woo! Give me one more, keep it up. Woo, woo! They're going fast, aren't they? In soccer, there is a lot of cardiovascular. They have to run all the time. So that's the reason they're practicing running. So if you don't have a soccer ball, just run. That's a good thing to start off with soccer. You guys did amazing. Woo! Good job. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one for physical education and pre-K.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Wow. Bye.
I'm Mr. Gardner, your homeroom music teacher, and I'm back here with you again. Today we're going to learn about doing our 5-stroke and our 7-stroke. On our last segment, we did the double and the long. So today we're going to do the 5 and the 7, okay? And I'm going to also implement a new system called the EESP. And I guess you're wondering, what does that mean? That means eye it, hear it, say it, play it, okay? Eye it, hear it, say it, play it. Okay, that's going to be our new system. So we're going to go through a whole lot of, we can get through a lot more music by doing that. Okay, so we're going to do that system for quite some time to get everything rolling and get you back in the swing of playing things quickly and get your tempo down and all that stuff without just basically sitting reading music. So we're going to put the sticking on the screen so you can actually play along, and it'll be a lot funner and it's a lot faster. Okay, so we're learning about rote. Learning by rote is actually playing something that you heard previously, and you just keep playing it over and over and over and over again. It's repetition. Okay, so we're going to start off with the 5-stroke roll. The 5-stroke roll alternates, and it's basically just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's why it's called the 5-stroke roll. Remember, right hand leads. Okay, whenever we're playing, right hand will always lead on any rudiment that we play. Okay, so let's try the 5-stroke. Okay, I'm gonna count us off. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Right, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left. Right, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left. Okay, great. So you got that sticking down, okay? Let's try the same rudiment, but this time let's play match grip. We're going to play the same thing, but we're just going to play match. Remember, traditional, match. So we're going to play match grip so we can be able to play both ways, okay? Same sticking. Right, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left. Right, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left. Okay, great job. That was a great job. Okay, so now let's try to speed it up, but this time I'm not going to call out the strokes. I want you to remember the strokes, okay? The strokes are still right here on the screen. You can see them, okay? So let's try that again. This time I'm not going to say anything about the sticking. I want you to remember the sticking, okay? I'm just going to count it off. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, and let's keep it at match, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's switch. Okay, great job. Good job. You switched and everything. We switched from match to traditional, and we kept the strokes going. Okay, so now let's learn the 7-stroke roll. The 7-stroke roll does not alternate. It's the same sticking. So we start with our right hand. We're going to keep starting with our right hand. Okay, and the 7-stroke, just like the 5-stroke, is just strokes. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep playing it. Let's switch. Okay, good job. Good job. That's an easy rudiment. Even though it's an odd number, it's real simple to play because we don't alternate. It's the same sticking. We start with our right hand every time. Not like the 5-stroke where we switch. We alternate back and forth. So the 7-stroke is a really, really easy rudiment to play. Okay? All the rest of them are easy too, but this was really easy and simple because of it just doesn't alternate, okay? That right hand keeps leading every time. Okay? So let's try to speed up the 7-stroke, and this time let's start off with traditional grip. Okay, so let's speed it up. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Speed it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Okay, one thing I want to bring about to him and really touch on that I haven't touched on that much in our segments. The faster you get, the closer to the head you want to stay. Okay, you don't want to keep playing big and try to get faster. I think I mentioned that before in one of our segments. Okay, but when you get faster, you want to stay closer to the head, okay? Because you don't have to go that far to get to it. Up here you do if you're doing that. And you're trying to play faster. When you're closer, you can get faster. Because you don't have so far to go to get to the head, okay? So the faster you get, the closer you want to get to the head. So if you start off playing big, when you start speeding up, bring down the strokes. Okay, so you want to bring them down when you get faster. Remember, every rudiment that we play is played how? Do you remember? Open, close, open. Slow, fast, slow it back down, and you stop. Remember, when you're playing a rudiment, it's just like a train. You want to go slow and gradually speed it up, okay? Just like a train. Something similar to when a plane take off, but a plane take off pretty fast, okay? Trains move slow on the track. Airplanes just go shoo. So we don't want to be like an airplane, okay? We want to be like a train. We want to move slow, okay? So let's try those rudiments again. Let's see if we can switch back and forth between the 5 and the 7, okay? And let's stay traditional grip for now, okay? And we're not going to play it that fast, all right? So let's start off with the 5-stroke. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, switch. 7-stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back to the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Switch sticking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, great job. I didn't mean switch sticking. I mean switch the position of our hands, not sticking. The sticking's going to stay the same, okay? So if I threw you off there, my bad, okay? So we just switch our stick position, okay? We didn't switch our sticking, okay? So I'm Mr. Gardner. I'm your homeroom music teacher, and this episode was outstanding. We learned 2 new rudiments. We learned the 7-stroke and the 5-stroke, okay? So we got them down. Plus we learned our new system. And what was our new system again? Eye it, hear it, say it, play it. Eye it, hear it, say it, play it. EESP. I it, hear it, say it, play it. I'm Mr. Gardner. I'm your homeroom teacher, and I will see you on our next segment.
I am Lincoln Middle.
At Lincoln Middle School, students discover their talents and passions, where teachers plant the seeds of lifelong learning.
I am Lincoln Middle.
Where excellence is nurtured. Students develop the skills to be successful in school, career, and beyond.
Je suis Lincoln Middle.
Lincoln Middle is the public school where your child will thrive and grow. Open a world of possibilities. Apply today. Learn more at enrollkc.org/Lincoln Middle.
Kindergarten is great at Kansas City Public Schools.
I know they have really good teachers. I know this is a great school.
They teach them stuff that I thought my kids would never be able to know at the age of 5.
Since deciding to send our kiddos to a neighborhood school, we've become even more of a part of our community.
Now is the time to enroll your future kindergartner for the new school year. Visit enrollkc.org today.
I love Southeast because of the culture, the band program, and restorative justice.
I love Southeast because of the academics, sports, and students.
I love Southeast because of the people, the energy, and the advanced classes.
It's not alike. I love Southeast because the students here at Southeast are full of potential and they believe in achieving anything.
We are Southeast.
Southeast.
We stand shoulder to shoulder.
Join the Southeast family. Enroll today.